Hi, I'm finally back to update you guys on my Project Pan. I wanted to do this a month ago, especially because I was really excited about my progress. A month ago was crazy though. School and work, and now I have work and pet sitting, and this is basically the first day that I've genuinely had just some time, and I didn't have anything specifically that I knew I had to do. And it was a weird feeling. It still is. I'm like, this is great, but also, am I missing something? Am I forgetting something? Like, is there something else I need to do? But I don't get into work until 1 o'clock today, so I have some time. And I'm currently dog sitting at a different house. That's why I have this makeshift setup. That's just gonna be the norm for my channel, I guess. Unfortunately, since I'm traveling, I do have 2 empties, but I didn't bring the empty packages with me to show you because I'm not gonna bring empty compacts while I travel. That's just not something I have room for, and I don't want to do that. So you can just imagine it in your brain what you know what an empty compact looks like. So I'll talk about those first. But the Milani Prep Set and Glow powder, the one that had very little left, and I repressed it. I think there was only a small pan last time, but it was such a thin layer. I easily used that, I'd say within the first month. I know it's been 2 months since I last updated. Looks like I used it a little over 20 times since last time, and a total of 58 times within this project, but obviously it already had a very significant pan when I put it in this project, so I'm sure I've used it like 200 times or something like that. It lasted a long time. I will say, this whole tallying system, I slacked off the past week and I realized it doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I don't need it. This, like tracking my usage, made a ton of sense when I was panning eyeshadows. And I wanted to keep myself accountable because I had like 15 eyeshadows I was panning, and I was trying to be like, okay, which ones do I want to focus on? And oh, this one I only used once, I'm slacking off there. But I'm just using base products, and a lot of them, since I'm traveling, these are just the only ones I'm bringing. So I don't really need to track my progress when I'm going to use them most days when I wear makeup anyway. So I'm not going to mention the numbers anymore just because they're wrong. Like, I know they're wrong because I haven't marked them for a couple days, but I feel like the visual progress speaks for itself. So I'm still going to be tracking like lines or pictures. I just don't feel the need to be like, I use it this many times. Sorry if the camera keeps adjusting. I'm trying to figure out the best angle to do this at. I'm doing the front facing camera just because that's what's working right now, but I know that's a less high quality camera, so hopefully it doesn't look horrible, especially if you're watching this on a laptop or something, or like a TV. But perhaps I should just mention the other empty. It's not surprising that Franken bronzer I made out of that one e.l.f. eyeshadow from the New Classics palette mixed with some banana powder. It was a really nice, warm but pale shade, and it wasn't hard to use up because it was made out of an eyeshadow one, and I've been using it for a couple months. Let's just move on to, I think, maybe I should leave the most exciting for last. Actually, I am. I'm gonna be annoying. So, okay, to be fair, this is also pretty exciting. This Flower Beauty lipstick, I can show a picture of the progress. I know it's 2 months, so obviously it's gonna be more progress, but this is so soft that it goes so quickly. And also, I was drawn to it for like a week or two, just wanting to wear this. I think my favorite look, I didn't take a picture of it. It wasn't that like mind-blowing of a unique eye look. It was using, I forgot to mention this eyeliner. I'll get into this after the lipsticks, but I was using this and I like smudged it on the lower and upper lash line and then a little bit around my eyes and mascara. So it's that smudgy black eyeliner look with a pale nude lip. I don't know, maybe is that 90s? Is that early 2000s? What era was that popular in? And I think at one point I like to combine it with like a tiny bit of silvery blue in the inner corner. So yeah, that was fun. I definitely think I can finish this, if not by the next month, the month after that. Like, keep in mind there's plastic right here, and I'm not planning on digging into it. I don't think I'm one of those people. I'll feel accomplished because I've never used up a full-size lipstick in my life. I will feel so accomplished by just getting to the plastic. I don't need to dig into it to feel like it's actually done. Especially with this one, which is the other lipstick I'm working on. This is so old. I'm wearing it today. a bit sheared out with some lip balm just because it's a little bit darker when it's just full opacity, but I prefer it a little bit lighter. And I've made progress, but in the lines you can see it's not, for 2 months, it looks like I've used it 1 month. And to be fair, I think there's a week I thought I lost it and it was just hanging out in a purse, because of course it was. Another reason why this hasn't been moving as quickly as previously is because I haven't been using it as a blush. I think I used it as a blush once. I don't love it as a blush, it's fine, but I prefer powder blushes for the most part. And also because I've been working on a blush palette. I will get to that. But I want to talk about this eyeliner first. Bit of underwhelming progress. I thought I used it quite a bit, but it's still, I need to pick up the pace. I do. I know. But now when I used it in like my waterline and smudged it, I only did that once or twice, but I found that it went by much quicker. So I think if I try doing that more, I'm gonna get more usage. However, the reason I didn't for a while is because I ran out of the eye cream I was using, and since I was so busy with school and work and dog sitting, I just didn't set aside time to go to Trader Joe's to get my little $5 eye cream, which is very effective at preventing like dry or red irritated spots around my eyes. The process of putting it in my waterline and using eyeliner in general, it just is gonna irritate the eyes more to take it off. It's just more versus just some mascara or some powder eyeshadow is a lot easier to take off than like waterproof eyeliner. So I was avoiding this just because I wanted to give my eyes a break and because I didn't have the time or energy. So hopefully I want to get this done by the end of the year. So I feel like that for sure can be done. If I could do that sooner, that'd be great. I should stop being mean and I should just show you guys the thing that I find most exciting is this Pacifica Cherry Cheek Powders palette. Now I'm gonna have to be careful because I had to crush a bit of it to use it, and so there's some loose powder here. You can see it's this one I've been crushing because I haven't repressed it. I didn't want to repress it until I updated it, but then in 2 months, obviously, I just started crushing bits and pieces of it to use it up. This guy I've been using almost every day I've been wearing makeup. This I find most exciting because I wanted to hit pan. That was my goal, right? It took 5 uses, and that 5th use, I wasn't intending on wearing this. I think I was using this, some of the crumbles got in here, so I used my brush, I tapped in here to pick them up, and then I saw a tiny speck of pan. And then I'm like, well, I'm already using some of it on my cheeks because I picked up some of it while trying to do the other. So then I dipped it in for the other cheek, and then it started growing a bit more, and it grew a lot. I will say it hasn't been growing that much lately, just because I think it was a really big dip right here, but then around it, it's still pretty high. But still, a blush pan? I don't care if these are smaller than normal blushes because they're in a palette. It's a blush pan, okay? This is exciting. I've also used this a bit. This is tricky. It's really dark for me, so I'm probably gonna franken this to make it more appealing, but I've just really been using these two. I love this blush. It is like the perfect warm blush because it's not too orange, it's not too bright, and it's not too dark. It still has that nice rosy color, but it's warmer. I am wearing it today, lightly with the pink on top of it and a tiny bit of that bronzer, contour, whatever it is. I don't even know. Sometimes the other day I just wore this and not the bronzer, and I thought it gave a nice warmth. I don't know. I'm just not as much of a bronzer contour person right now. I think blush can do it all. I've also used this one down here. You can probably tell that the pan has expanded since last time. I can just do the comparison photos up so I don't have to worry about this spilling anywhere. But my goals are obviously to finish that really pale pink shade because I'm already on my way there anyway, and really focusing on that Firelit shade, which is the one I just hit pan on. And I'm thinking of repressing Queen of Noise, that bottom shade, with a tiny bit of the top shade, because I find the top shade's too dark. The bottom shade I think is a little bit too warm and doesn't have enough pink to it, so it doesn't really look like a blush that much. I mean, I do like it. I've used it occasionally. It's a nice shade if you want a warm look, but right now it's spring and I'm not drawn to I'm generally not drawn to warmer colors in general because I don't think they suit me as well. So I think I'm going to repress that, add a tiny bit of the top shade, just to use some of that up as well. I know my goal is to hit pan on that. I have a feeling I'll probably just end up frankening that blush into like 2 different blushes once those 2 pans are empty. And then focus on those 2. And so I don't know if I'll ever like hit pan in the traditional sense, but I want to use it up probably by the end of next year. I have a few eyeshadows in mind that I want to mix in with that blush to make it a lighter and shimmerier color. Those eyeshadows are a bit old, so I can just get them out. Sorry about that abruptness. My boyfriend called me while I was about to end the video. But just so you guys know, I'm going to try to make some more videos, not just once a month, but maybe a few more to add in there. I know I did buy a few makeup items this past month, so I might do an update for that. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!